All right, the big breaking news tonight, 6:07, by the way, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy, and I thank you for being with us. You just heard from Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Traffic all over is just a mess. There was a mess going on 65. I said nonsensical. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was looking at Jackson. There was a mess going on 65 South. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why I lash out. When you've been nothing but good today, you've been kind, you've been adequate at the rest of your duties, and still yet I lash out. And I don't know why I did that, Jackson. I apologize sincerely, and I hope that you'll find it in your heart to forgive me.
And you're leaving tomorrow.
I am leaving tomorrow. I'll be in Dixon, Dickson, Dixon, Tennessee, at the Greystone Country Club, and we would love to see you. Come on out and see us. Get in your automobile, wherever you might be. Well, I mean, not you. You can't get in any automobile. You have to stay here. And Ken Weaver has to stay here. And I'm sorry for that.
But you're saying us like it's a group thing.
Well, I'm talking to the folks.
You've just abandoned us.
I'm not talking to you, Jackson. I'm talking to the people.
Ken, he's leaving us.
Well,
I know, but maybe he'll bring us something back.
I'll bring you something nice, Ken.
I like Pro V1s.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you like those?
Because they're good at golf.
I find just as many Pro V1s in the woods as I find any other golf ball in the woods. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not quite as many because they're $5 a golf ball.
I'm just joking, Brother Murphy. You don't have to bring me anything
I'm bringing
back.
you something, Ken. I'm bringing you something from that pro shop. Now, Jackson, I'm not so sure about.
I want a sticker.
You want a sticker? Like a sticker bush or something to put on your cooler or whatnot?
Cooler.
Okay. I'll see what I can do, Jackson.
I'd take a cooler, too.
Jackson's like a child. Jackson's like my son. He's like the son I never had. I say I'm going out of town, and he wants something. Well, I'll see what I can do, Jackson. We'll see what Papa can bring back for you.
Don't refer to yourself as Papa.
Well, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The big. Before I get to the big story, Jackson's right. I should promote this. Tomorrow, Dixon, Greystone Country Club, 3 to 7. I think Chad's out there as well from noon until 3, so come on out and see us. And it's for a wonderful cause, and we'll talk more about that as tomorrow comes. In the meantime, James Comey has been indicted. The former head of the FBI has been indicted, friends. We kind of saw this one coming. If you didn't see this one coming, I don't know where you've been. He was indicted for allegedly making a false statement and obstruction of justice. James Comey, ever the smarmy one, the former FBI director, has been indicted by a grand jury. Now, a grand jury, they say that you can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. That's probably true. 2 counts, allegedly making false statements with jurisdiction of the legislative branch and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. Fox News reporting in July that Comey was under criminal investigation by the FBI. The probe into Comey centered on whether or not he lied to Congress during his September 30th, 2020 testimony about the handling of the original Trump-Russia hoax at the FBI. Known inside of the Bureau as Crossfire Hurricane, no one's above the law, said Pam Bondi. Today's indictment reflects the Department of Justice's commitment to holding those who abuse positions of power accountable for misleading the American people. We will follow the facts in this case. Kash Patel has taken to X to say, today your FBI took another step in its promise for full accountability. For far too long, previous corrupt leadership and their enablers weaponized federal law enforcement, damaging once proud institutions and severely eroding public trust. Every day, we continue to fight to earn that trust back, and under my leadership, the FBI will confront the problem head on. Nowhere was this politicalization of law enforcement more blatant than during the Russiagate hoax, a disgraceful chapter in history we continue to investigate and expose. He added, everyone, including those in positions of power, will be held to account no matter their perch. CIA Director John Brennan is also under criminal investigation. We would love to see John Brennan brought under indictment. Under federal law, prosecutors have 5 years to bring a charge. The 5-year mark is Tuesday. This coming Tuesday. The case is currently being handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia. So after 2 years, and just a little backstory, and Fox News, the article that I'm looking at goes into this just a little bit. Robert Mueller was appointed to take over their original investigation, Crossfire Hurricane. And after 2 years, his investigation concluded yielding no evidence of criminal conspiracy, no evidence of coordination between Trump and Russian officials during the 2016 presidential election. We now know that that was all a byproduct of the made-up Steele dossier. John Durham was appointed as special counsel to investigate the origins of the Crossfire Hurricane probe. Durham found that the FBI failed to act on clear warning signs that the Bureau was the target of a Hillary Clinton-led effort to manipulate or influence the law enforcement process for political purposes ahead of the 2016 election. The aforementioned facts reflect a startling and inexplicable failure to adequately consider and incorporate the Clinton plan intelligence into the FBI's investigative decision-making into the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. In other words, John Durham went right up to the gate and refused to open it. John Durham knew. And after the Durham investigation, we all knew. This takes it one step further and says, you know what? You're not allowed to lie to Congress, no matter your political position. No matter how high your position goes, you're not above the law. No one is above the law. How many times did we hear that clap from the liberal media during the Trump 4 years out of office, while Joe Biden was in office? And they went after him with every manner of lawfare at their disposal. And over and over and over again, we heard the same things. No one's above the law. The president's not above the law. No one's above the law. And they went after him in New York City. And they went after him in Washington, D.C., and they went after him in Georgia, and they went after him in Florida, screaming all the while, no one's above the law, no one's above the law, no one's above the law. Well, it's time for a little comeuppance. It's time to drink a little bit of that shut-up juice. And they're not above the law either. The report concluded, the Durham report, the FBI opened Crossfire Hurricane as an assessment and in turn gathered and analyzed the data in concert with the information from the Clinton plan intelligence, it is likely the information received would have been examined at a minimum with a more critical eye. Durham, in his report, said the FBI failed to act on what should have been, when combined with other incontrovertible facts, a clear warning sign that the FBI might be the target of an effort to manipulate information. In other words, they knew, and now we're going to find out exactly what they knew and when they knew it. Let's hope that John Brennan is next. And that is the latest news regarding James Comey. If he is convicted, he faces up to 5 years in prison. Once again, could not happen to a more smarmy guy, a more deserving human being. James Comey hated Donald Trump, hated everything about Donald Trump. James Comey, by every report available, with every source available, despised him and would do anything to make sure that he never ascended to political power initially in 2015 into 2016, and then certainly did everything in his power to prevent him from coming back into office in 2024. James Comey politicized the FBI, what was supposedly a non-political organization. James Comey lied to the American people and knew he was lying to the American people, and that certainly is the accusation in this indictment. Let us hope that James Comey gets that which he deserves. He will get a jury of his peers. They better be a smart jury, considering how intelligent he thinks of himself, how much he thinks of himself. Better be egomaniacal, too, if they're a true jury of his peers. 615-737-9986. He's getting a little taste of smoked crow. You're right, 5354. That's exactly right. 2372 says, isn't it ironic if you lie to an FBI agent, you can go to jail, and now the FBI lies to Congress, I believe he should go to jail as well. The problem is nobody's ever held to account. Hopefully this time they will. Well, you know, an indictment is not a conviction, and it will take a jury of his peers to convict him, obviously. They certainly got an indictment. Now, once again, dealing with a grand jury, I'm no attorney, but I know enough about this to help those of you who don't. Grand jury, only one side presents evidence. The other side does not. The other side does not get a chance to defend themselves at all. It's a matter of one side saying, hey, we believe that Jackson Williams stole the snack cakes in the break room.
Hey.
There was, no. You be quiet over there. You hush your mouth.
This is not true.
You don't get to say that.
There were no snack cakes in the break room.
That is a not for you. Save it for trial, pal. We're going to talk about these snack cakes that we say were in the break room.
Ken Weaver.
That you stole. No. You don't get to call witnesses, not in a grand jury. You don't get to call. If you want to call Ken Weaver as a character witness, you need to wait till your jury trial, buddy. We're just trying to figure out if there is some causal factor by which you can be indicted.
I just covered the news, boys.
Ken just covers the news, Jackson.
Ken.
No. Nope. You don't get to do that. It's a grand jury. Murphy gets to present Murphy's side of this because I'm the prosecutor.
You're lying.
You can present that to a jury.
This is a hoax.
A hoax?
A hoax.
How dare you, sir?
A fugazi.
A
fugazi.
What's a
It's an illusion.
What's a fugazi?
You don't know that? It's an illusion.
Is that what it is?
Have you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street?
I have.
Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That was interspersed with all of the F-bombs.
Yeah, I left those out.
That's the way that it worked, though, Jackson. Sorry. There were snack cakes. You were seen walking into the break room. Snack cakes are gone. I accuse you of stealing said snack cakes. And we have a witness that claims that they smelled snack cake on your breath.
This is profiling.
What? Profiling? Well, maybe. Maybe a little bit of but you can.
I won't stand for this injustice.
Well, you're sitting for it. And you get to present your defense once we get you indicted and get you into trial. Where do you go to get your reputation back? I don't know. That's how the grand jury system works, though.
I'm calling Jay.
You should.
For malicious prosecution.
That's what you get to do. That's where you come back. You get to, you can countersue if you so desire.
This is by my opponents.
Malicious prosecution. Now, you would make a pretty good politician there. You're saying all the right things.
I went to I was a political science major there for a quick second.
I went to political science for a second.
About a year and a half.
You probably know more than most politicians in Washington, D.C. Ricky, what's going on?
Good evening to you.
Hey, Ricky.
I want your opinion. Well, today they asked all of the top admirals and generals to report for a meeting next Tuesday. What's going on? Are they just trying to make Putin and Argentina and some of the other bad actors stand up and take notice, or something really brewing?
I don't. The short answer is I don't know why Pete Hegseth has ordered this meeting. But he most certainly has. I mean, the Pentagon has summoned military officials from around the world for a gathering in Virginia. It's true. And we're not really sure why that is.
Okay.
But one would think that, and thank you, Ricky, for the call, one would think that it must be something fairly significant. For those who have not heard the story, and I'm glad Ricky brought it up, hundreds of U.S. generals and admirals around the globe have been called to Virginia for a meeting with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The meeting is expected to be held at Quantico, Virginia. No one seems to know what the meeting is about, including the general and flag officers themselves, or why it was suddenly added to the calendar. One source familiar with the story said they had heard theories ranging from a group physical fitness test to a briefing on the state of the Defense Department to a mass firing. Regardless of the reason, the gathering and convening of so many senior military officers is considered to be highly unusual. Some officers and officials have voiced security concerns about having so many high-ranking officers in one place at one time. However, a congressional aide told CNN that unless Hegseth plans to announce a major new military campaign or a complete overhaul of the military command structure, I cannot imagine a good reason for this. There was confirmation that Hegseth would be addressing senior military leaders early next week. Pentagon would not answer specific questions about the purpose of the meeting or if the directive was for all general or flag officers in the military. During a press conference in the Oval Office today, President Trump responded to the question about the upcoming gathering by saying, "Isn't it nice that people are coming from all over the world to meet?" That's all he would say. He said the meeting would be partially tied to a review of military equipment. We have the greatest equipment in the world. A lot of generals want to be here. They're also going to be touring equipment sites. They're going to be talking about the newest and latest weapons. So we'll keep you up to date as best we can as to what that is all about. I wish I had more info, Ricky. I simply do not. It is 23 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Pleased you've decided to join us today. Man, it's been lively. We primarily, I don't know, for the first couple of hours talked about TSU and the shenanigans going on over there. With the two young individuals going on campus and the manner in which TSU has responded to it. I should note that Andy Ogles has responded. This is in his district, by the way. Congressman Ogles is currently, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. Why not? He's in Argentina right now. Oh, yeah. Argentina. Visiting Javier Milei, amongst others. So this is apparently some sort of trip designed to foster relations between the new economy of Argentina and the United States of America. I think it's I don't know. I don't want to tell tales out of school. I'll let Andy explain it the next time he's on the show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That said, this is what he had to say about the event. Now, from there, he has heard about this, and he is saying that it's ridiculous. He wants to know what's threatening about seeking a meaningful policy discussion. Nothing. Then goes on to say TSU students who aggressively harassed these two individuals should be expelled. Let's be honest, TSU itself should be investigated for fostering anti-white discrimination. What kind of school teaches hate instead of discipline? Why should taxpayers foot the bill for this? Rot. Andy Ogles responding to these two individuals being booted from campus, also asking, according to TSU, how is this a hostile group that incites fear? And he shows a photograph of the two young men sitting on campus. Marsha Blackburn has also responded to the situation, saying, disappointed about what happened Tuesday at the campus of TSU. Robust, respectful, bipartisan debate on our college campuses is more important now than ever. 100% true. The most interesting reaction that I got, and the one that makes me scratch my head more than any, is several callers earlier on the broadcast said that these two students should have known better than to go onto the campus of TSU at this time, indicating that for some reason they should feel personally compelled to restrict themselves from areas where there might be disagreement because Charlie Kirk got killed, Charlie Kirk whom they support, Charlie Kirk who agrees with them, Charlie Kirk who they agree with. That doesn't make any sense. It would, well, I could use comparisons, but I won't. I don't want to be intentionally inflammatory. Y'all get the point. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. When we return, Dallas, Texas was the site of the latest leftist violence against institutions like Immigration and Customs Enforcement. In this case, we'll give you the latest on the Dallas shooter and exactly what we know about said same coming up in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're winding it down on a Thursday. My final day in studio, episode 892, currently in progress. Hillary Clinton. I mean, I don't want to. I don't think I want to end with Hillary Clinton audio. I was going to do some Hillary Clinton audio, but I don't think I want to end on Hillary Clinton audio. Do you?
What'd she have to say?
She was on MSNBC lying, saying that rhetoric on both sides needs to tone down, and we need to calm it down on both sides of the issues, and the right is more angry and violent than the left. And nah, I'm not going to end that way. I will tell you some latest information that we've got from the man who orchestrated a targeted attack in Dallas, Texas, on the Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility there. He, this week, searched for apps that track ICE activity and sought to cause, quote, terror among the agents. That, according to the FBI. Joshua Jean, 29 years of age, is suspected of shooting an unmarked transport van driven by ATF agents. He killed one detainee. I guess didn't he kill two? I thought he killed two. This story says one. He took his own life after the attack. Next to his body, authorities found shell casings with anti-ICE messages engraved on them. Authorities described the shooting as an attack on law enforcement, a description bolstered by new evidence that indicates a high degree of pre-attack planning, according to Kash Patel. On Jean's personal devices, the FBI found a document downloaded titled Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, which included DHS facilities. Jean also conducted multiple searches of ballistics and facility structures. He also searched for Charlie Kirk shot video just one day before the Dallas shooting. So he was inspired in part by the Charlie Kirk assassination. This is clear. I mean, the reason we're not hearing anything about this story today, well, I mean, obviously, the political left knows the nature of the motivation. It's pretty obvious. We know the nature of the motivation for the individual that shot Charlie Kirk, which is why they desperately search for a way to turn it into something else. One of the reasons that I've not talked about Jimmy Kimmel is because I don't care anything about Jimmy Kimmel. And I believe that it's an intentional head fake. Jimmy Kimmel says something outlandish. Jimmy Kimmel will not apologize for it. We respond by saying we're not going to put up with this anymore. And oh, by the way, Jimmy Kimmel, you have crappy ratings and you're a crappy talk show host. ABC/Disney, whether they knew it or not, whether their intentions were good or not, they caved, they folded. Now, some are suggesting they knew exactly what they were going to do all along. Jimmy Kimmel is not worth the time, and it's an intentional distraction against the real story, which is leftist violence against people who disagree with them. I mean, isn't that the microcosm at TSU? You know, for a moment, just suspend the obsession with suggesting that they should not have been on campus. I understand that. I understand that TSU gets to decide when they're going to tell people to leave campus. Oh, by the way, they were sitting at this table, and there was a security guard. There was a member of campus security right there beside them, and they were allowing them to stay on campus at the time. When they were told to leave, they left. They didn't try to stay. But this was only after the crowd could not contain their emotions. I mean, I'm sad to say it, folks, but liberals, they can't handle their emotions anymore. Why is this? I mean, I understand getting mad. I get mad from time to time. You walk away from it. You don't resort to violence. You don't resort to stealing. And that's what happened at TSU. They stole their signs. And things descended from there because, sadly, some in what ultimately became something of a mob, when one did something physical, others wanted to do something physical, and it built upon itself, and they all descended upon these kids, and it became dangerous for them. So you see leftist violence in Dallas. Nobody's talking about it. Obviously, leftist violence against Charlie Kirk. Precious few people are talking about it now because the mainstream political left, ABC, CBS, NBC, and of course, #NeverCNN, garbage network full of garbage people, they decided that the Jimmy Kimmel cancellation was a much bigger free speech story than the fact that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed because of his. Why? Because Charlie Kirk disagreed with them? Because they disagreed with him? Between September 19th and 24th, Joshua Jean searched for apps that track ICE activity. If you're wondering, and I disagree with the covering of faces. I'm on record as that. I just disagree with it. And I understand that it's a debatable point. I understand that there comes to a point where lives are threatened and lives are at risk. I do not like the covering of faces when exercising their duties. I also don't like the doxing of these people. I don't like individuals attempting to get to their families or whatnot. That said, is there any wonder why Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents want to cover their faces when you have these tracking platforms out there, when you have people like Gavin Newsom referring to them as the Gestapo? Acting Executive Associate Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations for ICE, Marcos Charles, said anti-ICE tracking platforms are, quote, no different than giving a hitman coordinates. I mean, think about Afton Bain, for goodness sake. Afton Bain. Afton Bain, when she's not busy in her office, is in her car, apparently tracking down ICE and attempting to give individuals information about where they're doing their jobs. Also, as a side note, no additional information on any of that story. We've heard rumors about the 7th Congressional District candidate. We're trying to get to the bottom of some of those rumors. I'm not going to honor any of that rumor mill by justifying it, or nobody knows what's true and what's not. There's a lot of things going on. Afton let her legislative assistant, she wanted to remove her legislative assistant, and she made the decision to do that. And that created some questions as to why she would do that, which opened up a can of worms. And there's a lot of rumors going on as to why she made the decision to do that. I would tell you this. If you've been made aware of the rumors, we contacted Todd Warner, talked to him directly. Young Jackson talked to Todd Warner directly. I did, to Afton Bain directly. And both have denied that the rumors are true. Any and all rumors associated with those two representatives are true. And I'm hearing something about a press conference that may or may not happen on Monday. Isn't that what he told you? Monday press conference?
No, it was the Zone and Appeals meeting.
Well, that's Tuesday. See, that's what confused me. He said Monday, and I know he said Zone and Appeals. That's about his stupid limestone quarry that he calls a lake. Maybe he was confused. Maybe when you said pound and rock, he thought you meant the quarry. Right? What? Right? Oh, you don't want to get on mic now? You just want to stay away from that? You just want to stay away from that? You good?
I'm going to stay so far away.
He's pounding rock out at his quarry and selling the rock, and people that live around him say that it's causing a nuisance, a disturbance, and that he's not zoned to do that. And he says that he's just building a lake. I mean, but maybe he wants some nice recreational time. Go out on the water with loved ones, out on the nice calmness of the serenity of the lake. That's better than the hustle and bustle of the office atmosphere that you get in downtown. Yeah. Eddie is next up. Hey, Eddie. Eddie. Edward.
Good to talk to you, Matt. Yes.
Hello.
Good to see you, Matt.
What's up, man?
Matt. Matt Murphy.
Eddie.
Hello?
Eddie.
Yes, Matt.
Eddie.
Yes.
Yes.
That's me, Matt. Matt.
Eddie. Are we going to do this all night, Eddie, or are you going to talk?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Eddie.
Matt. I'm here. Hey, Matt, I'm here.
Eddie, you got to turn your radio down.
My radio is down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Are you?
Yeah. Okay. Man, it's funny. The left is like the total left, and the thing with TSU and and then Jasmine Crockett and all these people that are just making me feel crazy, their constituents or whatever. It's like tribalism. And it's like the thing in Afghanistan. We had a war with Afghanistan and stuff. You cannot turn people to freedom if they are tribal-minded people. And that's what it seems like that's going on now with like TSU. They're got their mindset, and just different people have their mindset in this country, and they're just you're in their. They have their own tribe. If you go in there and try to talk to them and stuff, it's like you're an outsider. We don't want to talk to you. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay, and how like Charlie Kirk did some great things. He went into places and talked to people, and changed their mind, or people had their mind open to things that he was talking about. Like, he's talking about Jesus Christ and, get married and, have a good family. Don't have a bad, life and put yourself down a bad road. But you have people that just have their mind just totally cut off, and they don't want to hear anything that's good, and they enslave themselves in a way because they're listening to the crap that the Democrat Party is teaching them. You'll never succeed. And you got to blame these people for this and that because you'll never succeed. Which you're a human being. You have a freedom.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Freedom to make anything you can, out of yourself. But they keep the people down. Everybody.
I used to call it the Democrat intellectual plantation.
It is.
Is what I called it.
Because it don't matter what color you are.
No, you can be victim to it, and you become a slave to it, intellectually speaking.
Yes, the war on poverty was the worst thing that ever happened to the black population in this country. There used to be families, black families.
The war on poverty won. Poverty won, by the way. The war on poverty is the biggest failure in the history of the United States of America, with the possible exception of the war on drugs.
You know what? I think it's time to surrender on the war on poverty and just give that up and let people find their way and actually succeed on their own. Because this is I'm 60 years old, man. I'm 8 years older than you are, and this I've lived this all my life, and I've seen it's amazing what people will bring themselves down. I'm uneducated, okay. I made a good life in construction. I've done really well, okay? But not just believing some crap somebody tells me. I've figured it out on my own, and read good books, read classics and stuff like that. It opens your mind up the way the world is, really is. And, and it's amazing. I'm just so sad for people that believe that stuff. There's so many black people out there, like TSU. I hope those people get a good education, but I know there's a bunch of dribble that they're learning. Don't down.
Well, and I would say this, Eddie, and thank you for the call, and you call back anytime. Don't fall into the trap of believing it's a color thing. It's not a color thing at all. It is a trap, a mentality trap, but it has nothing to do with color. 52 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Jackson, I feel so exposed. Why did you not tell me that I was unbuttoned to the entire show?
What will the elders think?
I've decided I'm turning to my Mormon faith. I don't know why I said it. I don't know. I don't think Mormons dress like this. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm tired. Do Mormons dress like this?
Probably.
Thank you, Jackson. He's not the best in the business for no reason, folks. It's incredible commentary like that. That's why we bring him back time and again. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Because you're probably not watching on Talk TV. Go over and watch on Talk TV. Tell me what you think about this. Yeah, it's good, right? Thanks. All right, back tomorrow live from Greystone Country Club. Come and see us. Just get in your car. You're not doing anything on a Friday. Get in your car. Come out to Dixon. Come up and say hello. I haven't talked to you in a month of Sundays. Let's go. Let's connect. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Mark Levin up next. First Amendment Freestyle Friday tomorrow. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.